5 years ago, today, June 30th of 2010, it's 2015 right now, I purchased my first house, the one pictured here behind me, in cash. No mortgage, no rent. It's 2015 now. I was 32 back then. I'm 37 now. 32 years old. House in cash, no mortgage, no rent. I'm going to share with you how I did that and what I had to overcome. I was almost homeless, by the way, so I had to overcome being almost homeless and having no house of my own, truth be told. I mean, I was in a really bad spot and I had no job, no income, no unemployment, no kids or anything I could claim. I literally had an income of zero, just 2 years and 9 months, I believe it was, 2 years and 9 months before I bought this house in cash. So how did I go from that dire place of being almost homeless, no house of my own, no income whatsoever, nothing coming in? 2 years and 9 months later, I buy my first house in cash. How did I do it? How did I overcome all that stuff? Damn mosquitoes. Welcome to the Midwest in the summertime. So here's what happened. The girl that I was dating at the time, she got involved in a home business and she invited me. I said no. Like most people say no, especially at first. But 3 months later, I said yes. I saw that she was having a great deal of success and I was in this place where I was like, I'm gonna die if I don't figure something else out. I mean, I wasn't even like in the middle. I was gonna die if I didn't figure something out. It sucked. So that was a big part of my motivation, was the alternative to not getting into something like this and figuring out how to make it work. No idea how I was gonna build it. I had no skills for this, and whatever skills I did have, I don't know. I mean, I was an average D and C student in school, and I spent several years riding the short bus, so to speak, special education and this and that, diagnosed behavioral problems when I was a kid. So I just didn't really have a setup or a belief that I could build this, but I knew that I had to figure it out. So I got in not knowing what I was doing, and I figured it out. I did a lot of learning. I was a really good student of excellent teachers. That was a key thing. As far as the money thing, how did I get into it? Because every business requires a startup, right? Yeah, that's true. This one, I picked the $240 package. Nothing coming in, no means of paying it off. How would I do it? Well, first, I got out of the box of average thinking that says that just because I don't have the money, it doesn't mean I can't get started. That's BS. I mean, that was one of the reasons I said no 3 months prior to that. It's because I wasn't thinking outside of the box yet. For me personally, that meant, well, I had this credit card, so I basically charged it and used other people's money. Now, the last thing that you want to do, and I cannot emphasize this enough, is that if you're watching this video going, oh, well, Tom, I don't have a credit card, so I guess it's not going to work for me, then your brain is shut down to finding something that does work for you. That was just my thing. I have a list, actually, of 31 ways of raising money now without having any money. Credit cards is just one of those 31 ways. Almost anybody can pick apart at least half of that list of 31 ways and figure out how to raise money without having any. You have to be willing to think outside of the box and not saying things like, well, this is what Tom did, so I can't do what he did, so I guess I can't do it. Don't do that. You're a different person with different resources, different everything, different circumstances, surroundings. I don't know what you've got going on. You got to start looking at that and opening your brain into a rich and creative mindset. That's really what it was for me. I would not have found a way to do it that worked for me if my brain was closed, like it was closed. Then it opened up. Then I began searching for answers. And one thing after another, you know, I came across, okay, I got a credit card I can use. And if it wasn't the credit card, I'd have found something else. And I did find other things too, actually. Found a lot of other things. And to this day, I've never missed a credit card payment. I got my ass to work when I got in, and the rest is history. There's actually a lot of history. I'm not going to go into that in this video, but on this particular one, I wanted to keep it relevant to this beautiful house of mine that I purchased 5 years ago today in cash. When I began house hunting, I was like, okay, I'm going to put down like half the down payment, maybe go on a 15-year mortgage. That's pretty cool. But my income kept going up so fast, I was like, I'm gonna pay for this thing in cash. So I did, paid for it in cash. Title company, they didn't even know what to do. They were looking for the paperwork, they were scrambling. It was really funny to witness that. Eventually they got the right paperwork in order so I could just write them a check. It was just a personal check I wrote them to pay for the house. I mean, really, it was cool. Full down payment, done. Do you know how much money that frees up when you're not in mortgage debt or house debt, whether it be rent or mortgage or whatever? That frees up a ton of money, man. It really does. And then the money that you've already got coming in to your bank account to pay for it, that's already established. So then on top of that, you got savings every month because you don't have rent or a mortgage. It's incredible. And since then, I have to say, I've gotten into real estate stuff, and I bought my first 5 properties within inside of a year and a half, never using any of my own money. It's all funded for by this first business. And I know a lot of people that are interested in real estate. You probably do too. It's like one of the key buzzwords of our time. Everyone wants to get into real estate. How does everyone do it? Most of them. They start getting into it with their own money. They don't have another business they built first that can fund that. So now they're trying to live off of that same income that they can't really roll much back into that same business. It grows very slowly, if at all. In fact, most people get out of it because it's just more of a headache and this and that. Well, I don't do anything for my properties, okay? I've got goals. I communicate that with people on my team. I've got managers, property managers, advertising managers, construction company. I've got all these things at my fingertips. People on my team that I value dearly, mutually beneficial. So I don't get the 2 a.m. phone call about the garbage disposal not working. I've never once had to go to any of my properties for any maintenance or anything. I just don't do that. And I'm able to roll everything back into itself 100% and afford my lifestyle and not have a job. To this day, I have no job. As it turns out, after growing this thing enough, I was able to eventually call off the job search forever. So I'm a free human being because I opened my mind first and got out of the box of average thinking. That's what it took. So if you have any interest at all in knowing what I did to be able to overcome what I've overcome, get a house in cash at the age of 32, and buy my next 5 properties after that inside of a year and a half without using any of my own money, but having this first business fund that one. And well, if you're interested in any of that stuff, let me know. I teach how I did it. I teach how I made my first 6 figures and a lot more since then on Facebook, actually. No joke. First 6 and much more since then on Facebook. That was the start of it. One business funding another, which by the way reduces the tax burden down to almost next to nothing. So how awesome is that? Make more money, pay less in taxes. It's a pretty good deal. So I can show you that stuff too. Anyway, just private message me if you want to know more about that. And if it turns you on, we can do it. If not, then go find something that does work for you so that you're in a home business, you get your taxes under control, start making more money so that you can get out of whatever debts that you're in, or if you're not in debt, then you can afford more of, fill in the blank with whatever that means for you. Maybe you want to fire your boss. Okay, great. What are you going to do with all that time that opens up when you do fire your boss? You got a big, powerful answer that really pulls at your heartstrings and would break your heart if you don't have that come true? I hope so. Speaking of that, go to my website if you got any value from this, fireyourboss.xyz, not .com, fireyourboss.xyz, and pull from it what you can. That might help you develop a really compelling vision so that you realize it's not about the money. Being financially free is not about money. I know a lot of people will say that it is, and I don't need money to be happy. True, but that's besides the point. The spiritual gangster is going to realize it's about freedom of your time, and the freedom of the mind always precedes that, so that you can see money for what it is, a resource to heal or pollute the world, and buy your time freedom. I will hear from quite a few of you real soon. I can't wait. Take care. I got more videos to make, so I'll see you real soon. Bye for now.